Alright, here's my little XGen tutorial on how I figured out how to do fur. So imagine this is your character, it's whatever, it's just a really quick thing. So you have, probably should delete the history and freeze it just so it's good and right here. What you're gonna do is, first of all, when you go up here in Maya, there's a bunch of different workspace things. So go to XGen Interactive Groom. So it'll kind of change your menu set a little bit. So it'll have the Groom Editor, the channel box, and the outliner up here. And then this bottom part will have the attribute editor and the tool settings. And then under the attribute editor, you can see all your stuff that should be in your attribute editor. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure it's on object mode. Generate, and you're going to go right here, create interactive groom splines. So you're going to click that, and it's going to make this little furry shape. And make sure you're smooth shaded, because it does the smooth shaded version. So what you're going to do is you have in your outliner, you make sure you have this selected. This is the XGen. Um, and then you have all of these things in here in your interactive groom editor. So then you can go in and change, the taper, because we kind of did this a little bit last year. So this is a taper. It makes it so it's pointy at the end instead of just like a flat shape. Um, and the width, how big each different thing is, so super tiny versus a lot. And then over here you have scale and sculpt. So if you go to sculpt, you have how it kind of deforms to the shape of whatever you have. So if you have something super intricate, it'll show up a lot more. But since this is literally just a circle extruded, it's not really going to show a whole lot. Scale is like the scale of how long they are. That's really it, how long they are. And I'm pretty sure, really, you should only the mask. They look like they do the same thing. This one is just more extreme. So if you want really extreme like that, mess with the scale. I would probably only mess with the scale too. So, and then if you go to description 1 base, which is the base of whatever you have this XGen called, it'll just put it in as description 1. You can go to density, and so density will make it how many pieces of like hair is in each spot. So this is like super duper dense, and I'm like this is not so much, and then like you can get like crazy things that like it just looks smooth, right? So something like maybe like that, kind of looks like teddy bear. It's kind of fluffy. Um, and then so if you you kind of just have this menu set right here. You can go in and change whatever you want in here, and also in the interactive groom spines you can add modifiers. So you can add noise to the whole thing, and it does that, and it makes it kind of like that. And then down here in the attribute editor, it'll show up as another tab, so you can click noise and you can change all these settings. So like magnitude will make it more or less noisy. So maybe like that's kind of cute for noise. The magnitude is 0.5, well, 0.495, but 0.5. So it kind of looks like fur a little bit. And then you have like preserve length, and I don't really know what this does a whole lot. These are just kind of like the basic settings I've been messing with. And then as soon as you get into this XGen Interactive Groom menu, so like instead of the menu set over here, it's like a workspace. Um, so it'll have all of these up here. And what I've found is the ones that are the most useful is which one? This one, which is a cut tool. So if you click it, you'll see like a green outline, and what you're gonna do, hold right click. Oh no, 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 hold right click. This one will just cut it down super short wherever you drag. So like if you have a spot you want, so say this is the front of the face, and I don't want a lot right here. You can just go in. Oh, maybe just like right here. You can just go in. Now he has a little face, right? And maybe a little ear. He's like a little monkey. And then this one adds or removes the density tool. If you click on that, it'll come up with the same kind of thing. If you right click, you can set decrease or increase. So increase will add more hair into that spot and decrease will get rid of it. So if you go in with a decrease, you kind of have to like go over it a few times, but you can tell it's getting rid of whatever was right there. And then increase. And also I'd like to say I don't know how well this will work on other computers. I'm using my personal computer. So, but then if you put increase, it puts it back however it was originally put on the XGen, so it won't be like cut. So then you'll have to go back to the cut tool and cut it up. Let's see, yeah. And then you have um, the comb tool, and so you can literally it's just combing hair just by holding down left click. So you comb it back. Just be careful because it's kind of strong sometimes. And all of these things can be changed in tool settings. So you can change the strength to be super duper, like very strong. Like that's the same thing, holding down just left click. Or super light. That's the same thing I was just doing. And so you can just like comb it back to the shape that you want it in. So what if I want to give them like a big a comb over. So I'm going to put the size up more and I'm just going to, okay, see, that's why you don't mess with the settings a ton. I'm going to comb it back. He's going to have a little, there we go. He's my character. There we go. It's perfect. So it will kind of go into the mesh a little bit, and what you can do is you just kind of like pull it out from the side, like you're pulling it like this way, and it'll stick out a little bit more so it won't show up in the mesh. You just got to be careful with the comb tool. So it kind of just combs back everything. It makes it a little bit nicer. Yeah. And then you also have the move tool. Grab brush, sorry. Grab brush. It literally grabs like the tip of the hair and changes the direction it's facing. So it's not like the comb tool where it'll comb the entire surface down. It like grabs the end. As like if you imagine like pulling on someone's hair, that's what the grab brush does. It literally grabs it from where it is. So if that's useful, like you literally just want to pull a bunch of stuff this way, you grab it and pull, and then it'll pull all of it straight that way, instead of the comb tool, which will kind of like mess it all up. And then you can do, also if you hover over these, they have descriptions. So noise you can just do per brush and you don't have to add a modifier. So you can do like a little bit of noise, like maybe right here, if you want like, I don't know, different effects in different areas. So like maybe like a little bit of chest hair is noisy, I don't know. And then you can change like the magnitude and the frequency down here. So maybe it'll be a little bit more. Maybe we want his beard a little different. There you go. So you can just use that. And then there's clumping, which be careful with this because it literally like clumps them into one place. So like that is clumping right there in the middle. You gotta kind of be careful with this. So maybe turn down the clump intensity. So if you want it to like clump, 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 you kind of have to hold it down. But see, it's kind of like ruining everything. So I would be careful with this unless you really like, I don't know, it looks kind of bad. If you can get it to work, get it to work. Pushes hairs away from each other, so it kind of just, oh, this is kind of breaky. Doesn't really like each other, so it literally just moves them away from whatever point you have selected. I don't know if you can see that. So like that's where I had it selected, so they're all moving away. I kind of have to move the brush a little bit, but it all moves away from there. And the other ones I haven't really experimented with, but that was the easiest way. So if I go and open my scene, I can kind of show you. I don't need to save that. Actually, that was the wrong one. Hold on. I'm on this one. So you can kind of see this is my character. I've gone through and I've taken this comb tool, and I'm just going through and I'm combing it down just to kind of be. You have to be careful when you can see the mesh underneath it, so you kind of have to like just like pull it out a little bit. Like there's too much mesh showing there, so I'll just pull out the hair a little bit. And like obviously you could make the size of whatever the fur is, you can make it more, but it might make it so I can just show you. So like the scale, you could turn it up, but then that is a lot of fur to come down. So I kept it low, and I'm just going through and moving the fur so you can't see the mesh underneath it. And so you'll have like a character that looks like this. And what I did, like just for like the nose, because the nose doesn't have hair, I just took the density tool and I just decreased, and then I changed the size of this brush. And I just went through and removed all the pieces of hair that I didn't like. And obviously it takes a second for the computer to kind of know what's happening. But if you just kind of go through and select them, you can just remove whatever you want. And then this is all cut short. So this is what the short hair kind of looks like. It literally looks like you just snipped off like the taper end. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. It's very reflective when you first put it in, but you can change. Go into here. You can change. I know you can change the color somewhere. In the color, I think. No, not there. Hair physical shader, that's where it is. So you can change, like everything you'd be able to change in a hypershade, you can change it just in here. So I can do the root color, so he's gray. So I can do the root color and the tip color. And I can have, there's something that's still highlighting orange. There we go. We'll do that highlight color white, and we'll just do glint color. I don't know. So he kind of just looks black. Well, he is black and white, but there you can still tell there's fur. But when you do your texture of your character when your UV's unwrapped, you'll take this hair physical shader 5. You'll go in here and you'll find it, hair physical shader 5, right? And you'll go in you go into here and you'll put in the root color and the tip color, you'll put your texture for your model. So if I had like a texture of a white eye right here and a like this all colored correctly, I'd go in here, I'd do this little checkered box, file, and then you choose your file from there. Um, just make sure to also put it on your your thing that's actually selected on your character. Oops, I don't know what I just did. So you have like this, which is this shader. I called it main fur, or just like the main body. And then you'll also put it on the hair physical, whatever one it is. And you'll put it in these two. That's kind of it. It's really just going through and like, oh, taking the comb tool and oh, I want this back this way. I would advise don't use gray because you can't really see it. So I would go in and this color, hair physical. You can change it right here. You can just go to this. Maybe we just change it blue so you can see it, but that just looks like every furry ever. So yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. I guess it kind of breaks if you do it in the hyper shader, but I like the hyper shader more. I don't like the other one. So oopsies, because I broke the main color. So if it breaks like this and you can't get back, you just go here and you hold down right. Hello. You hold down right. You click this. Hold down right click. No, or not. Or you just go in and delete these two. Nope. Don't do that. There's a way to break the connection, and I know that. Break connection. Okay. Well, this is kind of broken. I'll have to fix that. But just make sure to don't put a file in here until you actually have one. Oh, because I didn't select a file and now it's broken. So you can always... Oh, sorry for yawning. And you can put your displacement and your volume in here. But, yeah, you just have the hair shader in just right there in the thing, and then this breaks it apparently. So, oh, I don't know what that did. Anyways, so you kind of just could comb it back however you want. I'm just gonna comb it up this way. And these brushes can be very strong, so be careful. And like obviously, if your character does not have uh clothes, I mean does have clothes like all right here, don't do the fur. Don't spend your time doing something you're not gonna see. So I'm only focusing on the face, the arms, and these like bottom parts of his legs and his tail, because you're gonna see that without his clothes on. And then once I figure out end cloth clothes, I can make another video about that. But yeah, that's kind of how I did it. Yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. I hope this is helpful.